Good evening and welcome. We got a full
The teachers, the students are enthusiastic, but I do get the pictures with the teachers and the vision sign, and I appreciate their enthusiasm. But things like just dropping off a thank you note or cards are things we can do, and we're going to try to do that more frequently for those teachers, not only myself, but the entire team. We're going to come up with something called the Superintendent Star, where I'll be dropping off to teachers and just recognizing randomly. We do have a large district, though. Understand 1,500 teachers, 2,400 employees, so it's hard to see everyone. But these are just some things that we think that we need to do to just recognize all of our teachers in the district. And so we generally appreciate that. We do board commendations here, and we got to do a better job of getting that information out when we recognize our teachers, because as the board knows, we do this every month. So that's the main reason, is we value, they're important, and teachers really in society, we appreciate all that you do, because you truly are making a difference for students. That student that I mentioned, the greatest thing for teachers is to see the difference you've made with your students. When I see him now working for Ford World Headquarters with a family, contributing to society, that's the biggest reward I have. And a secondary reason, I'm just going to say, is I was at the State Superintendent Conference with State Superintendent Dr. Rice, and I believe Eric has a graph on this figure. But right now, from 2010 to 2018, and this is data that was presented, we have a 27% reduction in the number of individuals that are going into teacher education programs nationwide. However, look at that 54% reduction in Michigan, the greatest reduction, so it's critical. We are also doing things like the Henry Ford Early College to promote, and we have a partnership with Wayne State University and others that we know are very important. So that's also the secondary reason, is just that we know when we have those teachers coming through that they're going to help us train our new teachers and retain our teachers. So I wanted to put that out there. I also want to mention that there were some times where we had, I know Mr. Wall was talking last month, we've generally held pretty close to the same percentage of retirements. It's either 2%, 3%, or 2% over the last several years. So that's been positive. I will say that the number of hires, at one point, we were at 10% or 15% over the last 4 years, and we've gone down a little bit, so that's a positive. I look at it, part of it is just the number of positions that we have available. So I just wanted to say, I think those numbers are pretty good on a district-wide basis as far as our retirements go. Having said that, we want to maintain all our teachers, and I'll let Dr. Joko come up and now and congratulate the specific teachers that we do every month.
Good evening. Kathleen Smith Furbacher, 18 2/3 years of service. Ann Miller, 22 1/2 years of service. Denise Palka, 21 1/3 years of service. Kimberly Lawson, 24 1/4 years of service. And Patricia Prolix, 28 1/4 years of service. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Before we move on, I'd like to comment. Dr. Maleko, I would love to start every meeting with the comments you just made about teachers. We love our teachers, all of our teachers. And the respect that we should have for especially our veteran teachers, we need to say that more often. Every chance I get in the community, at meetings, I do that. So the last couple meetings have not been fun. I know the last meeting I made a statement, we're actually putting a number on teachers, which I know that wasn't the intention, but it still sounded like it. I spoke to a couple of my colleagues after the meeting, and they agreed with my comments. So every chance we get, we thank, respect, and we love teachers. That's the message that should be coming out from Dearborn Public Schools. So thank you for your comments, and I'd like to hear it every month if possible. Thank you.
President Barron,
Yes,
may I chime in with you?
of course.
I would like to say thank you to Dr. Maleko. I just recently ran into someone who he mentored in HR who said, Chloe, who said to pass on a thank you, a sincere thank you to him. And she was in HR, but as far as teachers in public education have been the subject of much negative discourse politically over the last years. And they are the backbone of American society. They deliver education to 90% of Americans. And you are spot on that we don't give teachers enough credit, and we should do that more often. And I appreciate them very sincerely as well.
Thank you very much for those comments. Anybody else? Trustee Mosib?
I'd like to echo President Barry's comments as well as Trustee Lane's. I do appreciate all the teachers who are in our district working day in, day out, educating our students. And although our motto or our mission statement says students first, but definitely our teachers are also always first. And I'd like to recognize somebody in the audience. I don't think he knows about this, but I've had him for AP, for U.S. government in high school, and he was a phenomenal and still a phenomenal teacher, Mr. Forster. Thank you so much for your service. And his class was just an amazing class that I was looking forward to, especially as a student who was kind of challenged, especially with the English language, but I managed to get into his mainstream class, and I found that Mr. Forster not only taught us the curriculum, but it even challenged us to critically think about U.S. government and what does it mean to be the different branches of government, and how does that entail? How does U.S. government apply to your everyday process? So we would begin with the news. He would bring everyday examples, and his class was just amazing. So to Mr. Forster and to all of our teachers of Dearborn Public Schools, you are, as Trustee Lane mentioned, the backbone of society. Absolutely, you're bringing the next generation. So thank you so much for all of what you do every single day, and I thank you very much for that.
Trustee Thorpe?
I would expand it further, not just speaking about the teachers, but every single employee of this district. They all have a chance to impact students every day.
Absolutely.
So keep up the good work, and thank you for what you do.
And Trustee Moser, you said, we know it's student first, but it's, you know what? If it's teachers first, staff first, administrators, superintendent,
Absolutely.
board, then eventually you're serving the
We're all
students.
first.
Then it is students first. Thank you.
Yes.
Anybody else? Next,
Ditto.
Trustee Petrikov?
Well, and I just wanted to reiterate the fact, I had, my mother was a teacher, my sister-in-law was a teacher. We all know somebody who's a teacher in our world. But the thing that we know about teachers is that the thanks that they take away really is what Dr. Maleko was talking about, seeing those students being successful, because that's not only the challenge, but the reward for anyone who is in a situation where you take care of children and see them grow up. Being a parent, being whatever you do with that interaction, your hope is to have a successful adult contributing to society. So we all recognize that as the job and responsibility that we hold here to make sure that we can help support that success. So I think that we all need to remember, and that was very good of you to remind us that we should be saying that more and more often, because sometimes it takes a back seat to our everyday lives.
I think we've set the tone tonight, how we feel about our teachers.
And staff.
It's not just words, we need to continue putting those words into actions too, not start putting them into actions, continue, because I know we do. Since we're going down memory lane, to most people, Becker is a building. It's a school. To me, it's Iris Becker, my journalism teacher back at Salina Middle School. She had me working for UNICEF, March of Dimes, I think it was the 78 or the 79 school bond. She might be the reason why I'm sitting in this seat right now. She got me involved in community service, so Ms. Becker, thank you for your service, and God bless your soul. Next item.
Bond.
So I just wanted to mention, we have a action item which may be discussed later. Our team has been meeting the last several months, since December, actually, to try to look at our options moving forward. We've had several discussions with the last, well, at least we had a building and site committee meeting that I know we'll have a report out. So I just wanted for the public to know that our team is a meeting, and we have a consultant group that we'd like to start exploring options and getting stakeholder input into potential new plans for the bond. So that is on the agenda tonight under number 15. So just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. That's it for agenda items. Next item, please.
Non-agenda items, National Social Worker Month.
Just want to say appreciation. We talked about our teachers. You said all staff, but it is a Social Worker Appreciation Month, so I do this every year. I just want to appreciate, give appreciation, and let's give a round of applause for our social workers that work hard each and every day.
Black History Month.
Just to report that during the month of February, it was Black History Month in Dearborn schools. We also promote that, and so we've had a lot of lessons and different activities going on in the schools for Black History Month. So, of course, we're also aware that we run the Martin Luther King Service Day through the Advisory Council. So just wanted to point that out. And Trustee Lane and I spoke about that as well.
Statewide teacher shortage.
So I already kind of tied that one in, so I'll kind of skip that one and go to the next.
Transportation hiring.
Just positive news on that front. I've been reported from Mr. Andrews and Ms. Marshall that we've had positive as far as hiring new bus drivers, and I believe we're now down to only 2 subs in the district, but we continue to hire within, and so that's a positive move to hire our own staff. I know the board, we've talked about it several times, so I just wanted to put it out there that there's a lot of positive movement in that area of hiring our own staff.
Good news.
Next item, please.
Coronavirus.
All right, for this one, I was going to plan some commentary, but we do have a video we put together on Friday. We have a couple, actually, a few. And so rather than me speaking on this topic, I'm actually going to let the videos play, which will also pump out on social media. So I'm going to hand it over to David and Mr. Shigfree. Greetings, I'm Glenn Maleko, Superintendent of the Dearborn Public Schools. Gathered around me today are members of the Cabinet, the district's crisis response team, administrators, nurses, and union leadership. Together, we have been working over the last several days to plan and prepare for any possible actions we will need to take as a district to address the impact of the COVID-19 virus. We come here today as a team because the task of planning and preparing is not the decision of one person, but requires the expertise and skills of all of us. Our district crisis response team has met and will continue to meet on a regular schedule to stay informed, share information with our schools, and keep prepared in case conditions in our state or immediate area should change. There are many news stories, articles, and websites providing information about this new strain of the flu virus, and it is vitally important for all of us to keep focused on accurate information. We all need to show restraint when it comes to sharing on social media or other internet outlets. Creating unnecessary panic by spreading rumors will only create more fear in our community. Our actions as a district will not be driven by fear, sensationalism, or comments on social media. We will follow the directions and recommendations of the healthcare experts from CDC, Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and Wayne County Health when it comes to safety and preventative measures for our students and staff. We have also heard several comments about providing students with online learning in the event that entire schools or districts would need to be shut down. It's unrealistic to say that we could convert a 21,000 student brick and mortar school district into an entirely virtual school overnight. However, we have in the past provided instructional materials and online learning opportunities to students who may have been home for an extended amount of time. I'm very proud to say that Dearborn Public Schools has been supporting and championing online learning for over 10 years. There are currently over 700 courses created in iLearn, and every day we have students accessing lessons from within the district and outside the district. In addition, many of our classes have resources such as textbooks and teaching materials available online. At this point, we are nowhere near having to take any extreme action such as closing an entire school district. We will continue to explore options and prepare in case of any long-term shutdown or widespread closures. Right now, there are a few simple steps that we can all do to help prevent the further spread of the COVID-19 virus and other flu-like viruses. We are sharing these helpful items with students and staff and would like to remind everyone, cover your nose and mouth with a tissue, cloth, or within your inner elbow when sneezing or coughing. Always thoroughly wash hands for at least 20 seconds with soap and water. When soap and water is not available, use hand sanitizer to wash hands. And of course, if you are not feeling well, please stay home when you are sick. This is a good habit to follow for any illness, but even more important given the current spread of COVID-19. Our school nurses have done an outstanding job of compiling information and helpful links to other resources. Please visit the Dearborn Public Schools website and click on the COVID-19 coronavirus information link located at the top of the front page. According to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, as of Friday, March 6th, there are no confirmed cases of the COVID-19 virus in Michigan, but please keep in mind that this is a very fluid and ever-changing situation. Our staff will remain in contact with healthcare organizations in order to gather the latest factual and accurate information. Our team will continue to meet so that we will be prepared to address concerns as they arise, keep our schools informed with the latest information, and most importantly, ensure the great teaching and learning that takes place in our schools will continue throughout the remainder of the school year. We wish you all the best for continued good health. And I just had a comment as well, those will be pushed out on social media. Carrie Kahn received a call from the Wayne County Health Department, our school nurse who's on our crisis team that we meet regularly, we mentioned that. She complimented our building secretaries for how they stay on top of reporting communicable diseases. So they made a special call to our districts. I want to thank the secretaries and our entire team for that.
Next item, please.
Recognition and acknowledgement?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I have a couple that I'm
Oh.
going to do instead of the chatting with the superintendent.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry about that. So, I just wanted to mention, and trustee McDonald, you and I talked about the DIA millage, just as an information piece that's on the ballot tomorrow, just as an information. I talked to Mr. Wall, it's a 0.2 mil. So it is, on a $100,000 home, would be roughly $10 per year on a $100,000 home value. So I'm just, again, providing information because I know it's on the ballot and we had discussed it. Secondly, just in case people didn't know, I talked to Ms. Sue Briggs from the art department, and our teachers and our students do take advantage of the field trips they offer and the busing they offer, and they also offer parking. In fact, our teachers have been at the professional development there at the DIA for the art department. So I just wanted to put those facts out there. I don't have an exact count on the number of students, but she roughly estimated today about 1,000, but it could be more that actually attend. So just so that people have the information. I know you had asked about that, Trustee McDonald, so.
If I can just, the reason why I asked that question is because it is going to be on the ballot tomorrow, and I wanted to make sure we got accurate information out to our community, that the service is being used, because that's what they tout the tax, is that it helps our students get information and support the arts. I'm not pushing one way or another, but I wanted to make sure that the information was there, that it's roughly $10 a month, a year, $10 a year for a value on a $100,000 home, and that we do take advantage of it. I was not aware that our teachers get professional development from that. I thought that was quite a plus, so I was interested to learn that. So thank you for the information, I appreciate it.
Mr. Wall and Ms. Briggs helped me, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I do have one more thing. I just want to make a statement. I know there's some blue cards potentially to talk about, public comment about potentially a personnel matter, and just wanted to mention that in accordance with board policy, the Michigan Open Meetings Act, and for students, it'd be FERPA laws, we cannot publicly share details of any investigation, findings, decisions regarding staff's or student discipline. We could never name any staff. We follow due process for all staff and students in accordance with board policy, state and federal law. This is actually all the regulations are on the Dearborn Schools Human Resources blog. Staff and students always have the right, and we've presented before the board on this before in the past, we've had presentations, to bring representation to any due process hearing. And in the case of staff, this usually includes the union representation. We respect the rights of citizens to express their voice and share their comments in a public forum. However, the Dearborn Public Schools and publicly funded government institution is not afforded the same rights to freely discuss or provide countering details regarding any personnel matters. The district has the responsibility to maintain confidentiality under employment protection laws and student privacy laws. Sharing details, including the name as mentioned, would put our district in jeopardy and our students and our staff. So I just wanted to put that out there, in advance. And the last thing is just March is Reading Month. I know a lot of you are out there. We appreciate it. It's a very busy month in the schools. I'm often in the high schools, but I will say the month of March, I tend to be in the elementary schools a lot more, and I know a lot of the board members and others in the community, including executive cabinet, are out there, and I truly do enjoy those visits to the schools, and it's important to promote reading in all of our schools. So thank you.
What's up?
Yes, thank you very much.
Now on to recognition and acknowledgements. Fordson High,
Hold on. Trustee Lane? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Maybe Trustee Moses can expound on this, or Dr. Maleko, but I think it's important to mention the census also. April 1st is Census Day. There is a town hall meeting coming up with Sam Baydoun and Commissioner David Mezek. So it's really important to mention to people the celebration of our U.S. federal census on April 1st, and that it should be completed and returned. It's very important to all of us. So I would ask people who are there to maybe reiterate that.
Sure, thank you, Trustee Lane. It is very important to take part in the census. Census happens only every 10 years, and we need to really participate in that. And it needs to include everyone, regardless of your citizenship or your presence in the country. Even if you are an undocumented immigrant, you need to be counted. Michigan, unfortunately, historically has been undercounted, so that affects a lot as far as dollars, money that comes to our schools, that comes to our resources, are based on the census. And I was actually part of a statewide commission, and when we wanted to just get a good number on Arab Americans for this commission, it was very difficult to find information other than the census. The census is the most scientific data that usually researchers and people really depend on. So it's very important that we participate. March 12th, I think it will begin. They will begin sending out forms by mail, and now you can fill it out online this time. So you can go online and you fill out the census and you're done with it. If you do not fill out the census, you will definitely have somebody knocking on your door. Please make sure that you show them or ask them to show their badge that they belong to the census. The other thing that I want to mention is strictly confidential. Whoever you tell the census person, the information about your household, about your income. That information will not be shared with any other government agency, and it's completely confidential for like 80 years in statute law. And there are severe consequences for any person who tampers with census data. So it's very, very crucial that we participate. Again, Michigan, to lose another congressional district if we were to be, again, undercounted again. Michigan is known also for losing population, but for sure losing counts when it comes to the census. So I encourage everybody, التعداد السكاني مهم جدا جدا، فأطلب من الجميع المشاركة فيه. Thank you so much, and I appreciate Trustee Lane's reminder.
Thank you. Trustee Petrikov?
And to let everyone know, if they want to fill it out online, they can go to the public libraries. They will help you there to fill it out online. We're planning on helping them through our schools to fill it out online if they need help in understanding it. And something that's really important for everyone to understand is if you have people living in your home who are not necessarily your family members, but are there even for a short period of time, on the day that you fill out that census, everybody who is living under your roof at that time should be included. So if you have somebody visiting, somebody from another state who's staying with you while they're looking for housing, you would count them as well. So I want them to be sure that they understand that it's who's ever under your roof at that time. That's who you count in the census.
Thank you. Dr. Malenko?
Yeah, just wanted to, I appreciate Trustee Lane bringing this up and all the comments that were made. Just that the school district is cooperating with the city and other groups, and we've had representation at all the meetings. And in fact, I had 2 tapings on Friday. One was with Chief Haddad to promote the census.
I
so
still
know
have to
that-
do mine.
Okay, so more of you may be contacted, but appreciate the opportunity, Trustee Barry, to comment, and just to let you know that the school district is also behind everything, and we'll do everything we can to support the effort. So thank you for all the comments of the trustees.
Trustee McDonald?
One more comment.
Comments, undocumented people as well as visitors should be counted also.
Trustee
Does
Moses
not
mentioned
matter
that.
someone's immigration status.
Maybe she's not.
All right, thank you. Trustee
One more
McDonald?
comment is that there are some really good paying census jobs out there. So if students are in the market or anybody's in the market for, it would be a short-term position, usually doesn't last more than a year if you're clerk position, or less than that if you're field position. But it's good experience and it's a good paying job. So you can check into that on Census Online, Census Jobs Online, anybody in the market.
Thank you.
And Trustee McDonald, you actually, when you work for the census, you get preferential treatment when you apply for other jobs in government. So it is a great way to start, and they pay really well.
They
So,
do.
Yeah, I think it's 21.
Yeah, over $20 an hour,
$20
so it's,
yeah.
especially for college students, this is a great opportunity for a seasonal job, and then an opportunity for later to be, because the census doesn't only happen 1 year. I mean, the overall census happens every 10 years, but they still have jobs for people to do over the next 10 years. So,
Tabulating all the
Yes.
information, yeah.
All set?
yeah.
All right. Next up.
Okay. Third time's a charm, recognition and acknowledgements. Fordson Honor Choir and Donation.
We have Ms. Meyer coming up, who does an outstanding job.
Good evening. I am excited to introduce a great performing group for us, but before I do, let me introduce and share with you a partnership that has been formed between the Dearborn Schools and the National Arab Orchestra. On the evening of February 28th, the Fordson High School Orchestra and choirs from Etzel Ford High School, Fordson High School, Bryant Middle School, Stout Middle School, Eunice Middle School, and McDonald Elementary School performed with the National Arab Orchestra under the direction of Michael Ibrahim. It was a fabulous night of building bridges through music. Sherry Richards, the executive director for the National Arab Orchestra, would like to talk a little bit about that evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you for letting us speak for a moment. It was a great evening. Were any of you there by chance?
Unfortunately, I wanted to be there, but I promoted the event very well, so
Thank you.
I've heard
Thank you,
great
ladies.
things.
We had our
Okay.
There was a few conflicting events in the district that night.
Oh, I know.
PTA
It's-
Foundation dinner, and there
It
was
was
an
the same
exchange
night,
dinner.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Next
we'll-
time
we'll
we'll
have
do
to do better next
Yes.
time. So, but there were over 450 students on stage from 6 schools, and they were able to perform with the orchestra, with our Tact ensemble. So it was really a magical night, and it was just heartwarming to see all those students singing and playing their music. And for those of you who may not know, a couple years ago, it started with a handful of students that were kind of lost as teenagers can be, and looking for some direction, something to get excited about. And we were able, Michael Abraham and Matt Laura came together and brought music to these students. And so what started with 12 kids, a few years ago, is now over 450 today. And we've been able to take this out into other communities as well. So it's really quite a heartfelt thing. And we are wanting to support the music teachers. You're talking about supporting teachers. It's our desire and our action to support teachers here in the Dearborn Public Schools. And that said, we were able to raise $500 that I would like to give to President Barry, if I may. Check. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're
I heard a lot of great things about that event, but let me tell you something. Dr. Maleko said something about the PTA Foundation dinner. I was the first one there to set up, and I was the last one cleaning up. So
I know.
if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have been able to go home that night. You figure out the rest. No, thank you very much for the donation. Appreciate it.
I understand. I can shamelessly say we have a concert on March 21st, and the students from McDonald School will be performing there as well. So it's at the Performing Arts Center, so we hope we'll be able to there. I would be happy to. Yes,
Just to
thank
get
you.
the word out. Thank you very much.
so much.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Tonight, you will be serenaded by a select group of students from the Secondary Honors Choir. This is a select choir that requires an invitation from the student's music teacher in order to be a part of it. Jennifer Bogowski has been their director for the past 19 years. In addition to their regular concert schedule, they have also performed with the Detroit Children's Choir, Detroit Civic Symphony Orchestra, Dearborn Symphony Orchestra, Ann Arbor Children's Choir, Indianapolis Children's Choir, Taylor Ballet Company, Motor City Brass Band, Vanguard Voices, and the Dearborn Community Chorus. They've also been featured performers for the Dearborn's tree lighting ceremony, Dearborn Community Holiday Choral Festival, Youth Arts Festival, and Holiday Nights at Greenfield Village, and many, many other opportunities. Tonight, you will hear two numbers. The first is a piece in Swahili and English, Sisi ni Maya, which translates to We Are One. And the second piece is entitled Cold Snap. They're being accompanied by Sarah Jakubiak. Let's welcome some of the students from the Secondary Honors Choir.
Our world needs this song because our world is one. We all laugh, we all cry, we all feel hunger, we all feel pain, we all know, hey ya, we all hate, oh hey ya, we all hope, we all dream, we are one world, one people, and we all breathe the same. A tribe of many languages, a group of many heartaches, fighting for peace among the land. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya. We are one. along the path and find our way. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya. Now we stand here together and lift our hearts in song to the rhythm of this moment in our lives. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya, sisini moya. Hey ya, we are one. New frost is falling and dusting the trees. Snowflakes are forming and lakes start to freeze. Time to wave goodbye to fall. Old man winter's come to call. With a cold snap. With a cold snap. Those winds are blowing and chilling the air. Gloves and mittens are what we all wear. Better go and buy supplies. Now's the time to winterize. For a cold snap. For a cold snap. Blue lips, red cheeks, stuffed nose, chattering teeth, sore throat, can't speak. Shiver, shudder, 'tis the season to be coughing, to be sneezing. Achoo! 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 Bless you. Deep snow is drifting and covers the hills. Icicles hanging beneath windowsills. Stay inside where it is warm, so warm. Safe from nature's bitter storm. And the cold snap. And the cold snap. And the cold snap. And the cold snap.
Thank you very much. That was an amazing job. One more round of applause. Trustee Thorpe?
I think I preferred the first song to the second song, and if we can work on a spring song, so we don't have to think about the cold snap anymore.
Well, it was near 60 today.
I know.
Great job. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Next item, please.
commendations, and the commendations will be read by Henry Ford Early College students, Anaka Gaston Alom, and Malik Sayed. I apologize if I butchered your name.
Hello, I'm Annika Gaston, and I am from HFEC, and I am a pre-education student.
Welcome.
I'm Malak Sayed, and I'm also a pre-education student in HFEC.
Welcome.
For the district, commendations to Cynthia Alvarado, who is part of the State of Michigan School Library Work Group. She will meet with other members of the Library of Michigan to discuss issues regarding Michigan school libraries, the resources available from the Library of Michigan, and to review the Michigan school libraries for the 21st century program measures. Commendations to school libraries at Fortson High and Salina Elementary Schools. Both libraries received exemplary status under the state school libraries for the 21st century measurement benchmarks. The benchmarks are used to measure the quality of the school's library programs. The status is valid for 3 years. For high school, congratulations to Coach Erie Quinn and the DHS girls varsity basketball team who won the MHSAA District Championship on Friday night with a 39-34 win over Crestwood. The Pioneers are now 19-4 on the season and advanced to the regional round of play on Tuesday, March 10th at Etzel Ford High School against Temperance Bedford. Congratulations to many vocal performers across the district who did well last month's District Solo and Ensemble Festival. The following performers received Division I ratings and qualified to perform at the state competition in April. From Fortson High School, congratulations to the 3 large ensembles, the Chamber Choir, Jamila Women's Ensemble, and Cantus Men's Ensemble. From Etzel Ford High School, congratulations to seniors Nora Heaton and Helena Celia Roseberry. From Dearborn High School, congratulations to Olivia Kirk, Sophie Wheeler, and Caleb Reese for their winning solo performances, and to Sophie Wheeler, Olivia Kirk for their duet performances. Commendations to Dearborn High School swimmers who qualified for the state competition. Spencer Dickhut qualified for the 100 and 200 freestyles, and the relay team of Spencer Dickhut, Fadil Shami, Jack Martin, and Aiden McNeil qualified in both the 200 and 400 freestyle relays. Commendations to the Fortson Key Club. The group advised by Mrs. Zainab Zreek recently attended the annual Michigan Key Club Student Leadership Conference and was recognized with 14 awards, the most by any club in the state. For middle school, commendations to the Bryant Jazz Band, which competed in the 47th Annual Central Michigan University Jazz Festival. Out of 65 bands that competed, only a handful were middle schools, and Bryant was the only one of them to place. The band took first runners-up in both Outstanding Band and Outstanding Section for Rhythm. Eric Guideman was second runner-up for Outstanding Soloist. The dedicated jazz band students meet daily for 40 minutes before school. Congratulations to Woodworth Middle School, which surpassed its $1,500 goal by raising a total of $2,258 in its Patients for Pennies campaign for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great job. Now I know why Mr. Major Fadullah blessed us this evening by joining us.
Yeah, I was
Now I'm looking back there and I'm seeing the pride on his face. So thank you to the students and thank you, Mr. Fadullah.
Mary had something.
Yes, go ahead.
Commendation.
Please do.
On February 11th, there was a press release by the Mackinac Center for Education, and I just want to read one sentence from it. But our city, our entire city, our students, our parents, every single staff member, teacher, Dr. Maleko, all of his cabinet, we as a board, deserve to feel great pride in this. And here is what Mackinac Center report card said. Remarkably, 5 of the top 10 CAP scores were earned by schools in Dearborn Public Schools. That's not on our website, but we should be saying that and we should be celebrating it. And I'd just like to bring our attention to it because it's a monumental achievement and it's amazing that we bring children out of poverty, we bring them up, and we educate our other students day in, day out, and we get really fantastic results.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Acknowledgement of donations.
We have Dr. Choco coming up.
A donation of $484.50 has been offered to Salina Intermediate School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for an iPad for co-teaching. 2, a donation of $235.06 has been offered to Henry Ford Elementary School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for leveled books organizer. 3, a donation of $251.75 has been offered to Henry Ford Elementary School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for games for teamwork. 4, a donation of $200 has been offered to River Oaks Elementary by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for game club. Number 5, a donation of $510 has been offered to Salina Elementary School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for flexible seating wobble cushions. Number 6, a donation of $780 has been offered to Woodworth Middle School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for headphones for math classroom centers. 7, a donation of $290 has been offered to Salina Elementary School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for flexible seating. Number 8, a donation of $5,000 has been offered to Fordson High School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for the incubator program donated by Novi High School and Macy's. Number 9, a donation of $7,700 has been offered to Salina Intermediate School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for 30 Chromebooks and 1 Chromebook cart donated by AK Steel. Number 10, a donation of $20,000 has been offered to Dearborn High, Etzel Ford, and Fordson High Schools by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for scoreboard renewal donated by Ford. Number 11, a donation of matching funds not to exceed $5,000 from crowdfunding source has been offered to Becker Elementary School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for books for all students. Number 12, a donation of $150 has been offered to Salina Intermediate School by J&I Pediatric Care Center to be used for elementary field trips. Number 13, a donation of $1,500 has been offered to Salina Intermediate School by Obad Maury to be used for PBIS, student incentives and awards. Number 14, a donation of an exercise bike has been offered to William Ford Elementary by Francine Circoni to be used by the staff in the teacher's lounge during lunch and breaks to help promote healthy living and exercise. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move on, under commendations, I didn't get a chance to mention that we had the state wrestling tournament over the weekend, and I know it was pretty late Saturday when the news came out, how everybody did, so that's why it wasn't reported. But we had 2 wrestlers from Etzel Ford. They represented Dearborn, Joey Morano and Ty Waika. Congratulations to Mr. Morano and Mr. Waika for representing us. Next item, please.
Approval of minutes. Approval of minutes of the following Dearborn Board of Education meetings. Building and Site Committee meetings, February 10, 2020, Board Report 1996. Policy Committee meeting, February 10, 2020, Board Report 1997. Regular P12 meeting, February 10, 2020, Board Report 1998. City Relations Committee meeting, February 26, 2020, Board Report 1999. Recommended action, make any necessary corrections, and move approval of these minutes.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Is there any discussion or changes?
Did you look at Mary?
Listening to Mary Louise, okay. Since there aren't any discussions, is there any objections to the motion? Hearing no objection, please attach a unanimous roll call vote.